Okay, so since 5 minutes, okay, so I'm summarizing this. So our meeting will be from next Saturday, starting with daily stand-up, very similar to your work experience you will be facing in the future. In the daily stand-up, I'll be asking 3 questions to everyone, similar to at your work. What you did yesterday? Or second question is what you are doing today? And third question is, do you have any question or do you have any critical open question that you need answer or you are facing or you are getting uh, challenged for this third option that you cannot do your work, you need answer. So these 3 questions, sometimes it will be like once like 10 seconds you are done. You will be saying, okay, I studied this topic yesterday. I am doing I will be studying this topic also today, and currently I don't have any answer, any question. So you are done. 10 seconds, you are done. So this way, everybody in the team, if you have 10 people, 15 people, whatever number, everybody will be giving the answer, maybe 15 minutes, but we'll be trying to do this in 5 minutes because we have maybe 15 people, right? Maybe 20 people, and everybody will have just maybe 15 seconds, right? So 5 to 10 minutes daily stand-up is done, and then we'll move to next step. Um, so you will always have this overview or outline with you beginning of the class, so you can see that. And now if you have any question, you can ask during that time, or I can just move on to the topic that I will be covering. So now, so what is the topic today? So little bit background from yesterday. Joel Bhai already started. What is QA? What is software testing? What are some of the benefits? What are the some of these importance that a company need a QA, right? What are some of the testing types? What are the some of the process that a QA team actually follows to do their work, right? That was very high level, but I will go little more details because these details actually you need all the time when you are a QA. And you will be doing this again and again and again. If you are a QA, every day, right, you'll be following same task, same style. Maybe your task will be little bit changed, details will be little bit changed, but the structure or the process will be exactly same that you will be doing. If you are a QA next couple of years, you'll be doing exactly same thing. Your thinking process will be exactly same. Your work structure will be exactly same. Your communication style will be exactly same. So now, introduction to software testing, QA fundamental for today's topic. So this is kind of from yesterday. What is a software testing? So software testing is defined, you see that as activities of checking whether something, right, some product is working correctly or not, right? So if you have an iPhone, for example, now there is a functionality in iPhone that FaceTime, right? FaceTime, you can do FaceTime. 10 years ago, for iPhone, maybe 2 or 3, they didn't have FaceTime. So what happened? The FaceTime was a new product in iPhone, and they added this. So what is the software testing now here? So development team added FaceTime. Now it is going to public, right? So now if before going to public, before going to users who will be using iPhone maybe 12 or 13 or 15, so FaceTime need to be tested. So now what is that testing means? So make sure different type of scenario, right? Means, okay, you are with land phone connection. You can use internet connection, different type of internet connection, you can use FaceTime or not, right? Now, you can use as a group, not only with one person. Sometimes you have to add multiple people in the group and do FaceTime, right? Sometimes you are in some specific network region where FaceTime may or may not work. So all of this is possible scenario you'll be testing before going to public. Sometimes you started FaceTime and all of the sudden it is dropped. It is not working. It is showing blank. Face is not showing. So before going to public, you have to check all of this, right? So QA will be testing the stuff that development team is actually building. So you are not building anything. You are actually testing the product. So there are some benefits. I think I listed maybe 4, but I said 5. Okay, I'm just changing it. Okay, so some benefits. Joel already yesterday discussed a lot of benefits already. I'm just summarizing few stuff to make sure product is bug free, right? Remember, Joel Bhai said yesterday that, okay, a bank, right? A bank can lose millions of billions of dollars if there is any software issue, right? So they are paying $100,000 for a QA tester or $120,000 a QA tester. At the same time, actually, they're saving their reputation. They're saving billions of dollars. So these are important factors, right? And he also said maybe sometimes China Airlines software bug, hundreds of people died for plane crash or something, right? So you see that it is not only money sometimes, it is sometimes about people's lives. So people can die if software doesn't work correctly. Simple thing, right? You see every day, you drive every day on the busy road, right? If you see all of the sudden your intersection, busy intersection, you see green light, yellow light, red light, right? All of the sudden, if software doesn't work, and instead of red, all of the sudden every side is green, there can be a big crash, right? So those are some important factors. Anything going to public phase, you have to test properly. And nowadays, most of this is a required in American by American Software Association actually. So there is an audit. Most of the company face auditing any product going to market if they were tested correctly or not. So there are some specific criteria they follows, like how that was tested, what was the process you followed. Like you have to maintain the standard. So the standards are sample standards are built, are created by American Software Association, right? So this is very important. Software testing is very, very important nowadays. As I said, it is security related. It is reputation, right? So this is some summary from yesterday also. Who will be doing software testing, right? Anyone has proper skill set. If you have a skill, you know some tools, how to use these tools. If you know the proper process, if you study and you go to some company and you start testing. So you will be testing if you have proper knowledge. A developer can be a tester, a business analyst can be a tester, a regular QA can be a tester. So anyone has proper knowledge, proper skill set, they can be a tester. So now, what is quality actually? So quality is a standard, right, that a company usually maintain. Why people like Apple, for example, right? Apple has good quality, right? Last several decades, their product expensive, right? But they have very good quality. They last longer. People can trust, right? Quality actually is related to trust. The company you can rely on. So testing actually, end of the day, will be deciding this quality, this trust, right? Basically, if this company's tester, they don't follow the rules properly, they don't follow the process properly, and the product released, users will face a lot of issues. And when users face a lot of issue, they will be angry. They will not be happy with this product, right? So this is quality that end of the day comes with reputation and trust, reliability, everything. So now there's a QA team actually has several roles, right? And that will be your QA team, right? Team structure, roles, responsibility, most of them already described by Joel Bhai yesterday, and I'll be summarizing few of them actually. So team structure, right? Work as a team, anywhere you go, it will be, you will be part of some team. Maybe you will be part of some maybe financial QA team, or you will be part of some insurance QA team, or maybe um, some airline company, right? So QA teams, but you will be part of their QA team, and QA team is part of their project team, right? So every project has several roles. You see that QA, UAT, business analyst, project manager, Scrum Master, SME that Joel Bhai said, anybody can become SME if they have good amount of knowledge on a specific product. Dev means developer. This is a shortcut form I just said, but PO, right, product owner. And we also saw that product owner will be one of the deciding factor for any testing product. So product owner will be the owner. So product owner will be decider, or he or she, whoever is the product owner, they will be deciding if they like it or not, if they maintain quality or not, if they actually followed whatever they asked for. If they want this, now QA development team or the project team delivered this product correctly or not. So now you see that QA, right, quality assurance, UAT, user acceptance testing, BA, business analyst, PM, project manager, Scrum Master, system matter expert, developer, product owner. So they have, each of them has their specific role. If you want, you can actually go back yesterday's class and also watch these videos. Joel explained everybody's role. So you are going to these two roles specifically. So QA and UAT kind of doing same kind of testing. QA doing more details. UAT is also doing similar testing, but they are checking from the point of view of users. As a user, what functionality user usually test or usually check or use. So the testing process will be very similar. Sometimes you will be hired as both. You will be doing QA testing and UAT testing also. So if you know QA testing, automatically you know UAT testing. Testing, all of these testing will be exactly same. Sometimes if your company has a separate UAT person, they will be actually asking you for help, because most of the time UAT team get their information from QA. QA will be their point of contact if you have a separate UAT team. So you will be working as a team, or you will be working in both role in some company. Now, business analyst is the person who will be communicating with this product owner, right? He is the middleman between product owner and the development team. So what is business analyst role, right? Business analyst will be getting the requirement. And what is the requirement? Now you are a celebrity. So now you are going to Tesla and you want to build a customized car for you, specifically for you. You have a lot of money to afford this. So you are the product owner. So this Tesla, right? You are paying all the money. You are product owner, and you are going to Tesla, and Tesla have somebody who will be communicating with you. He will be taking all the notes from you that, okay, you are saying, okay, I want 12-cylinder car. I want something red color. I have something sunroof, some specific. I have something maybe 2-door. I have something other functionalities inside the car, right? So everything is automated, right? All of this information, specific information like 2-door, 12-cylinder, right? Red color. you see that all of this information you are giving, those informations actually are requirement. Those are requirements, and you are the product owner. You are giving those requirements to some person who is taking the notes, and those some person is actually business analyst. So business analyst is taking notes. He or she will be creating some kind of document for other people, because business analyst will be taking note from product owner and will create a nice document, and he or she will be sharing this nice document with all the requirements, right? Or requirements details, whatever he get from the product owner, with rest of the team. Like, he will be sharing with QA, he will be sharing with development team, and other project team members. So this is business analyst. He is a middleman, but he will be communicating with both three team, right? Product owner, development team, QA team, and also sometimes project manager. In many company, a lot of small company, project manager and sometimes business analyst, same role. They cannot afford two different person. So sometimes project manager is also the BA's role, but don't think about right now same, but now just think separately. Most of the company has project manager as a separate role. Project manager will be communicating with the entire team about planning, about budgeting, right? About all the process, all the other communication with entire team actually. Because when project is starting, when project is going to production, all these details, right? Project manager will be providing you, because project manager will be also communicating with product owner. So Scrum Master, as I said, you will see in the future that Scrum Master, okay, somebody using, okay. So Scrum Master, right? The main role of the Scrum Master is a communication and creating all the meetings. You will see like 2 or 3 meetings every day, sometimes more meetings. A lot of meetings, you will see Scrum Master will be creating those meetings, and Scrum Master will be the main person, moderator. Scrum Master will be asking question to everyone. Do you have question? If you have any question, and basically he will be communicating the right person for answer for any issues, right? Creating all the meetings. You will see Scrum Master will have a big role, and there is a separate option. If somebody is really good, have good communication skills, you can actually go and work as a Scrum Master also. Not system matter expert, Scrum Master. So system matter expert, as we said yesterday, anybody, QA or BA or project manager or even developer, right? Anybody can become a system matter expert, right? So you are working in some company, in some project last 2 years. So you know everything about this project. So now you are a system matter expert on this project. 2 years later, some new employee or new contractor joined. So he or she can actually ask you for some knowledge transfer meeting, like they call KT. So you will be kind of like mentoring that how this system works and this, because you already have the expertise, right? You already have the knowledge last 2 years, and you are working last 2 years for same product, and you know every single details about this product. So anybody new comes, they can ask for information or some help, knowledge transfer related help. So SME, so as I said, anybody can be SME if they have proper knowledge. Product owner, as I said, he or she will be the decider if the product is going to public or not. If product owner is not happy with the product, it is not approved. And when you test, right, as a QA, all of your testing result need to be approved by product owner also. So end of the day, product owner will say yes or no. If product owner say no, entire team need to build the product again. if it is required. So basically is the number one powerful person here in the team is product owner. But all of you have some kind of role and responsibilities. But before going to product owner, actually QA is one of the most powerful person, because development team is building and they are handing over the stuff to QA. QA team will be testing. If QA team says, okay, testing is successful, the product is working accordingly as expected, then we can move on to next phase. So if QA doesn't approve developer's job, it will not move on, right? So it's kind of gatekeeper here. You are actually saying it is good or not. So QA has very big role. You are just testing, but you have a big role. You have a big power also in your hand, actually. So now there are two other roles, SDET and DevOps. If you are really good in automation testing, and sometimes you are good in coding also, then you can actually move on to SDET role. SDET will be mostly automation, and this is a lot of coding related testing, means mostly automation testing. If you are really good in automation testing, you can become SDET, the software development engineer in test. And DevOps is kind of developer and testing middle layer. So it's an operation layer, right? So how you will be testing, and then it will be deploying, releasing. All of this is combining in one as a one team and one process. That will be DevOps. So you can become a DevOps also, just need like few additional skills. Actually, let me stop share and sharing again. Okay. So next topic, anybody has any question about the team and roles and responsibility? You can ask question.
No.
They are very, very straightforward and just some basic fundamental. Okay, so you have to know some, okay, Fatima raised your hand. Do you have any question?
I left a question in the chat, please. Could you check it? Thank you.
Okay. Let me see the chat. Oh, okay. So you are asking what is the big difference between UAT and QA, right? So, so big difference is UAT. UAT person will be directly working with product owner. So in many times UAT team, UAT testers are business people. So they will be checking users' expectation strictly, like, okay, if user will be liking it or not. QA will be checking with details, every single details. As I said, you might be working as a QA and UAT both. A lot of company, this testing role, you have to do both. You have to work as a QA. So QA will be writing all the details, documenting all the details very, very strictly, following the SDLC process. But UAT person will be skipping lot of steps, but they at the end they will be actually checking all the major functionalities that is required. And UAT person will be more close to product owner and business side, and QA team will be more their communication will be mostly with development team and also business analyst, and also sometimes product owner also and business. But their working style will be very similar. Their testing will be exactly same, actually. They are testing exactly same thing that QA testing. There is actually no difference. But usually, if a company has, okay, 10 days of testing, 7 days will be for QA, 3 days will be for UAT, because QA is testing with more details, but UAT is not testing with all of these details that QA is doing. So it is an extra layer of testing. So basically, When development builds something, it is going to QA for testing. So QA, after QA completes the testing, it is going to next environment. This is called UAT. So UAT is another middle layer before going to public. So development environment, then QA environment, then UAT environment, and then production. Production means public. So extra layer of testing, extra layer of verification. Did you understand?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay. So project versus product versus domain. So end of the day, if you become a QA, right, you will be a QA in some kind of domain. And what is this domain actually? You see that there are several domains in the market, right? Some examples, right? Financial domain. All of these banks will be in financial domain, right? Airline domain. You see that Delta Airlines, Southwest Airlines, JetBlue Airlines, all of these airlines, right? Company are in airline domain. Insurance domain, right? Aetna, right? United Health, all of these, they are insurance and healthcare domain sometimes overlap each other. For example, you can see some insurance domain like Geico, right? Allstate, Nationwide, they are insurance domain. At the same time, some of them are insurance and healthcare, like Aetna, United Health, right? They are healthcare related insurance. Maybe Obamacare is part of insurance related, right? Healthcare insurance. E-commerce, right? Amazon, right? You see Amazon, eBay. Most of the retail shop right now, like Macy's, JCPenney, Sears, right? All of these e-commerce, they are doing e-commerce domain. Entertainment domain, right? Like Disney, Netflix, Hulu. You see that all of this. So everything you see around you in IT industry, they are part of some kind of domain actually. They're all of them are online based, right? They're all of them are online based, but they're like, this is just naming convention. They're called domain. So you can be in healthcare domain, you can be QA in financial domain, somebody can be in airline domain. It doesn't matter. You are QA. You're following exactly same process end of the day, and we'll be actually teaching those next 4 months. So now, what is a project actually? So project is, okay, now, for example, next year, if you say, okay, iPhone 15 is coming in the market. Now, iPhone 15 is a project for Apple. From Apple, this is a project. So somebody from Apple, who will be business, who will be product owner, they will be saying, okay, they will be selecting somebody who will be taking care of iPhone 15, everything. So he or she will have all the requirements ready. Now, what additional information from the current iPhone they will be upgrading in the new project, iPhone 15 maybe. So that product owner will be coming from the Apple team, right? From Apple. So this product owner will be communicating. For example, you are working in some company and this company has some BA, business analyst, right? So these business analysts from your company will be communicating with product owner from Apple company. Now, this business analyst is taking all the information, just gathering all the requirements and making a notes and documents. So you see that Apple iPhone 15 is a project. And what is the domain? Domain maybe in e-commerce domain, maybe, or maybe entertainment domain, or maybe retail domain. I don't know. Apple is part of maybe several things, right? So Apple 15, iPhone 15 actually is a project from Apple. And now, what is the product? iPhone 15, right, is a product. This is a project. Building from scratch before coming to public, the entire process, right? This is a project. Everything they are building, right, from scratch, from planning to going to public, it is done through a project. And now the end product is Apple iPhone 15. and that will be the product, right? So you can see here, right? Some, okay, I said Apple iPhone 12. You can see this example. Creating iPhone 12 or iPhone 15, I say, for example, 15. 12 is already in the market. Okay, iPhone 15 is a project where iPhone 15 is a product, right? So you understand the difference, right? Domain will be whatever is the company actually part of, like it is under healthcare, under financial, insurance, or e-commerce, or entertainment. It is the domain, and the process you are building through the project, and the product means end product that public will be using or your company will be selling, right? That will be the product. So anybody has any confusion about these three terms? These are just for knowing, actually, just clarification, just for information purpose. I hope you understood, but anytime in the future, if you have any question, just ask me. I will. Okay, no question in the chat also. Okay. Excuse me, sorry, actually. Software development lifecycle. So this is the main, actually, big part that you need for next 4 months. And if you are a QA in your entire QA career, this is your entire QA career, actually. If you understand this software development lifecycle, basically you are a QA, and every single skills coming in next 4 months will be part of this SDLC, actually. So it is a sequential step-by-step process to building a software, right? To building a product. Any IT product you are building is a life cycle. You are just building from scratch and to end. So it's a sequential process, and there are several stages of this process. So the steps first, actually, before going to the details, I'm just showing a picture first. Okay, you see that here. Okay, this is picture, probably will be helping you a little bit. So it is coming from the planning. And now remember, I said requirements gathering from product owner to business analyst. Now business analyst will be providing all of these details to project team. Now development team is building the stuff correctly or not. So business analyst is providing this document to the team. Team is basically designing and building the software. Now testing, right? Now that it is coming for testing, QA team will be involved. QA and UAT team will be involved to test. Then once testing is complete, deployment, right? It is going to public. Deployment means it is going to public for end users. And now, remember yesterday, once you are in deployment, means end user, now you have to do just some maintenance that make sure they are like sometimes every week or every month, your product is working correctly or not. Now, I will be going little more details in this because you have to understand this actually SDLC process. So this SDLC process, right, these phases, this can be asked during an interview, actually. Remember, we are preparing for the interview at the same time. End of the day, you have to get the job and you will face some kind of interviews. And these kind of details, they will be asking, what is SDLC? What are the phases? They can ask this, actually. Did you work in this process, or were you part of this planning, or are you part of this testing? This type of lot of questions that interviewer can ask. And if you have clear understanding, you can also answer clearly. So the stages, right? So you say, I'm saying this is 7 common phases. Now, if somebody say 5 phases and they combine, for example, now somebody can combine 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So then what will be happen? There is 5 phases instead of 7 phases. So I am just going through little more extra stages with more clear understanding, because 7 stages is common. Actually, this is you have to understand. But if somebody say 5 stages, somebody say 6 stages, somebody say even more stages, all answers are correct if you know what are you are saying. Actually, what you are saying, you have to understand, okay, what are those 8 stages? What are those 7 stages or 5 or 6 stages? But 7 in common in general. So now what is planning actually? Planning phase, right? Remember, I can go to different example now. Now, you are actually working for 5 years as a QA. Now you have enough down payment to your bank. You want to buy a house. So there is 2 options. You can buy a land and build a house, or you can buy a house that's already built, is ready to go. Now you decided you are not buying a ready to go house. You want to buy a land in nice place, and you want to build a house. Now all of this information you are thinking, right? This is in planning phase. Now you are thinking to buy a land. So if you are thinking to buy a land, you have to decide, okay, which city or state or exact location you are looking for this land, right? All of this information. And now another thing, once you get the land, when you want to start work, now once you have all this land ready, you already bought the land, for example. Now you need all of this information. Okay, you want to build a 3-story house or 2-story house, or like what type of design should be, right? So you are still thinking how many bathroom you will have, how many maybe balcony you will have. Do you want any swimming pool or tennis court or badminton court in your house? You see that all of this planning about your house, this is coming here actually. Now this is planning. For example, as I said earlier, right? Apple iPhone 15, maybe Apple company at this point already doing planning. We don't know. They're already doing planning. We don't know anything before they're coming to public. So planning phase is like brainstorming. Like this is sometimes totally depending on the client side. Client means whoever is your product owner, they have their own side. Sometimes they will be giving your company some kind of details, and your company will have team to do this planning. But end of the day, this information is planning phase. And many time QA is not involved in planning phase. And at the same time, QA can be involved in the planning phase. If you are a SME, remember SME, you have really, really good knowledge about some specific product, you can be part of this team to give your advice, to give your feedback. So planning phase, not all the time QA involved, but it is also possible QA can be involved. If you are a QA lead, if you are a QA SME, QA manager sometimes, QA director, you can be involved. They can ask QA team when they will be available to start their task. So planning phase, the first phase. Now requirement analysis, right? When you have planning done, right? Business analyst will get all the information from the product owner, right? So you are building the house, you will be the owner of the house, you have the land. Now you are going to some architecture firm, right? Architecture firm will have somebody who will communicate with you. That somebody will be actually, for example, business analyst. And you are the product owner, you are the owner of the house, you are giving all of your details. What is the details actually requirement? Your wish list. You can say your wish list actually. What you want, what you wish to have this product. Your wish list, right? Functionalities, wish list, list of things you want in your house. They are requirement actually. So you are giving all of this wish list. Now you are saying, okay, I want a two family house. One family I want to rent. And I want a second floor for myself, and that Floor will have 3 bathroom, 2 balconies, something like that. You see that all of this information you're providing this business analyst will write properly with all the details. And now he or she will make some kind of PDF file or Word document. And then that document will be shared with the team, right? So now this is called requirement. Now, when you get the requirement during, so sometimes requirement analysis and planning go side by side for many projects. So because sometimes product owner is not 100% sure that what requirement will be finalized or not. So it can go side by side, or it can go one after another. So requirement analysis, right? When business analysts get all of this information, he or she will be shared this document with the project team, specifically development team and QA team, right? These two teams will be critical because these two teams will be responsible for all of this testing. Development team will be building and QA team will be testing, right? Now, testing needs more clarification. Development team needs more clarification. And this is called requirement analysis because they want to know every single details clearly, right? If development team don't know the stuff clearly, what they're building, right? They have to know what they're building actually. Then end of the day, they will be wasting time. They will build some product, QA will be failing that. QA will say, okay, no, this is not the right. So then you see that like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it doesn't matter. The time is just wasted. So that's why requirement analysis, this is actually number one task as a QA. And this is kind of your 30% of your job actually. Requirement analysis will be 30% of your job because all of your future task is based on requirement analysis. So you will be getting list of requirement as a task. Now your job will be making sure that list of requirement you have clear understanding. You need clear understanding because end of the day you will be testing those, right? If development team is not building correctly, if requirement is you should have 2 balcony and 3 bathroom, now you are a QA and you are going to the building after that was built, you find out there's 1 balcony and 5 bathroom. That's a problem, right? You don't know. Or maybe the 1 balcony and 1 bathroom. You see that like it's a big difference. Whatever customer wanted and whatever actually was actual product. So that's very, very important. So requirement analysis, you have to make sure you are understanding requirements correctly. So requirements are wish list of functionality that product owner wants. So product owner sometimes will be called as a client. When you go to QA, some company will be saying he is a client. Client means product owner, means client means they are your client. They are giving you all of this information that you need. And this client or product owner will be end of the day the decider if they like your work or not. If they don't approve your testing, it will be actually, it need to be done again actually. If they approve, that means it is going to production and you are good to go. So this is the most important stage, requirement analysis in SDLC. And if you have any confusion, you always have to communicate with the team. You have to ask question to business analyst. Sometimes you are asking some question and business analyst doesn't have the answer. So business analyst will communicate with product owner. And in real life and in your daily stand-up, product owner also actually join. You can ask directly question to him or to her also. If product owner join the meeting, they can give answer instantly. Sometimes there are separate meeting, and this is called requirement analysis meeting, because you have a lot of question. Now you have to review the requirement with them. You have a document, but you have to review it and finalize this requirement. So this is called sign off, right? For example, you have a couple of review. If there is a big requirement document, maybe two review, right? Sometimes each review is 1 hour. So everybody will be making sure that the team has proper understanding, team has clear understanding on the requirement before actually building started, right? So requirement analysis will be very, very critical, especially for actually for both development team and QA team, because they are actually the building or testing. Now, it's a big communication here actually. Sometimes a lot of company doesn't actually, a lot of company actually don't provide clear requirement. And you have to communicate back and forth with development team sometimes, with business analysts sometimes your QA lead, your project manager, sometimes product owner. So it is a group work, it is a communication. And as I said, QA job is 50% communication all the time. It's always 50% communication and 50% will be actually you are working. So this is requirement, and I said what is requirement, and also Joel Bhai said it can have different naming, right? It can be just BRD, it can be just FRD, it can be just TRD, FSD, TSD, right? What are those? BRD means business requirement document. FRD, functional requirement document. TRD, technical requirement document. FSD, functional specification document. TSD, technical specification document. And also you will see some other team structure where requirement will be called as a story. Story 1, story 2. Story means requirement 1, requirement 2, same thing. Sometimes they will be calling use case 1, use case 2, use case 3. End of the day, all of this name you see in your work, right? There will be actually requirements. They are actually the details you need to build and to test. So far, anybody has any question about requirement analysis and planning? Anybody need break for like taking coffee, tea, or because this is 1.5 hour class, and if you need break, I can take 5 minutes break. You can just speak out. Or if you guys need help,
we don't need break. It's okay.
Okay. So it is a short class of 1.5 hours. So I think it is okay. But class is being recorded. In case you miss any part, you can just come back and watch. Okay, so I will continue. So next phase, right? Design. Remember I said design. You are going to some architecture firm. Somebody business analyst taking all of you note now. This business analyst from this architecture firm providing all of these details to their architect. So architect here actually is, for example, developer, right? So they're now drawing some kind of picture of the house. They're drawing some kind of mock, like some kind of sample internal design, right? Where will be bathroom, balcony, bedroom, master bedroom, right? Kitchen area, living dining room. So that phase is called design phase. See that design phase? Design phase is not exactly your building. You are making sure, okay, you are preparing some kind of steps and you are showing to your product owner, and product owner will be saying, okay, I'm liking it. I can go with that. This looks good. So you see that design, sometimes you are building some kind of screen, right? Online, you have a maybe clothing business. You are just going to some company and want some kind of website for you. So they will not build immediately. They will first show you, okay, do you like this type of design? Do you like this type of, see that the design, they're doing some kind of design sample and showing product owner. That phase is actually design. Now, once development team review their design with product owner or client, remember product owner is the main person. who will be actually say yes or no, I like it or no, I don't like it. Or sometimes product owner will be saying, okay, this looks good, but can you change it, make it master bedroom little bigger, guest room little smaller, like something like that, right? So it can be changed. It is not final. So now you're reviewing with product owner, then you are finalizing the template, finalizing the design. Now, then you are finalized. All of this phase has several meetings. Remember, they have review meeting, requirements review meeting, design review meeting, coding review meeting. And during this meeting, both development team and QA team are invited. Why QA team are invited? Because QA team will get actually better knowledge from these reviews. Maybe they are not building it, but they are getting all the information about the product, right? About the steps they need to prepare for testing. So they have now clear understanding during this meeting that what is that product, what will be the design, and what the necessary testing they need to cover all the functionalities, all the features, right? At the same time, once this is approved, the development team is moving to coding. Okay, they said, okay, we have everything approved. The product team like it. Product owner liked it, so we can move on and start coding. So coding development team will be using different type of programming languages, right? For example, Python, Java, Ruby, JavaScript, HTML, all of these programming languages they will be using and build some software, website or software product, something like that. So this is coding. If you see you are building a house, right? You have stuff like cement, rod, bricks, all of these, right? And you have those stuff like bricks will be kind of programming language, right? Bricks are programming language for your building, maybe. Maybe rods, right, is another one. Then cements will be another one. Then you will be building the house. So coding is similarly like, okay, HTML, JavaScript, they will be like layout of front end, and internal something like will be design will be like backend that you don't see, maybe Java, Python, right? A lot of database, a lot of things you don't see, but you see the in product, the design of the website, but you don't see the coding they are actually using. Same thing like in the building, maybe they have inside bricks, rods, but you don't see them, but you see the building and how it looks like. If it is built accordingly with your requirement, remember the requirement in every stage, requirement is kind of your Bible. You have to follow requirement all the time. Anything you check, first see what requirement says. If requirement says you need 3 bedroom, the house or apartment has to have 3 bedroom. Anything more or less is not matching with requirement, and any time is not matching, it is an issue, and this issue is called either bug or defect. Remember, Joel Bhai said either defect or bug. They're kind of same. Some company will be saying defect, some company will be saying bug. Means this is issue, means it is not matching with the requirement. Now coding is done. Now it is going to implementation. Implementation means coding is completed. It is moving to QA for testing. You see that? You can answer these two together. As I said, 7 stages doesn't mean you have to say 7 stages. You can say 6 stages. You can just combine these two, implementation and testing. Same thing, as long as you are explaining correctly. So all of this coding and everything is ready for testing now. So now you are checking the product. So now you are testing, right? But you testing documentation, the steps, what you will be testing is already created in this phase. Remember, development team is doing design, development team is doing coding. At the same time, QA has something to do, right? And QA team actually preparing their testing materials, testing documents that QA will be testing. So that when implementation done, QA will start testing. QA will be ready to start testing because during this 1 week or 2 week or 3 week, whatever time development team took, this time QA is preparing their stuff. They have some other stuff, right? They have to write steps. They have to write testing scenarios that they'll be testing, right? All of these details. They have to doing a lot of documentation, right? They have to create some documentation also. So this time QA will not be sitting around. Actually, they will be doing their job. Development team is doing their job. QA is doing their job also. Now testing started. Testing is completed. You see that this testing is just one line here, but you will be actually learning next 4 months what you are doing here actually. This is one line, but actually there is a lot of things to learn, and you need a lot of skills and you need a lot of tools that you will be learning actually next 3 to 4 months only for this and related to this stuff. Because here you are not doing anything kind of, you just participating. You have some job here. As I said, this is number one job, because you have to understand the requirement. You have to communicate with the team. If you have any question, if you need any clarification, communication. And then preparing for testing is your primary role, primary job. You can be automation tester, you can be a manual tester, you can be SDET, it doesn't matter, but it is testing. It doesn't matter, it is testing, and you need some kind of skill set to do that. So now delivery and deployment, right? So you see that QA team and UAT team, both will be testing here. Sometimes you will be both QA and UAT team, both part of this. Your role is both. It doesn't matter, testing will be same, but there's two different environment. Remember, development team is building product in dev environment. QA team is testing in QA environment. UAT team is testing in UAT environment. Then code is moving to production, like public, where public can see. So there is in general 4 environment you are checking. Development, QA, UAT, and production. And what is production you checking? Okay, testing is done, everything deployed to production. Now you have to sometimes check production environment also. So making sure, okay, this functionality just added to Facebook. Now, as a user, how it looks like. You don't have to actually check your personal Facebook account. When you check in QA, they have a lot of sample test account, like a public, sample 1, sample 2. So you'll be checking those sample account in production, making sure that, okay, things are working correctly or not. In production, in public phase as a end user. So now next phase is maintenance. This is very important, right? Remember, you buy a house, right? You have a lot of maintenance. You have to do oil change. You have to do sometimes brake change, right? You have to do inspection. You see that the maintenance, buying house also has like, or building house, you have to sometimes do plumbing. You have to sometimes do electrical work, right? Maybe every 5 years you have to change the painting. A lot of work, right? You need to maintain the house to keep up to date. So maintenance is something like in software product, also very, very important phase. Sometimes QA involved, sometimes some company has a separate maintenance team. Sometimes you will see on Sunday, right? Your Chase Bank online portal is not visible, or online portal is out because there is a maintenance team will be doing maintenance next 3 hours. 3 hours, you cannot use online portal. That 3 hours actually maintenance team is checking that, okay, the entire portal banking website is up to date, is correct. There is no breaking, there is no issue. They're checking, they're just checking, they're regular inspection. It's kind of inspection. Maintenance is kind of inspection. Like every month they do inspection that the website portal is working correctly or not. So QA team sometimes do, they have regression testing. So regression testing means you are making sure, okay, if you have a new functionality you are just adding, making sure all the previous stuff working correctly or not. So now if you just created a website for your clothing business, for example. Now in your clothing business, you did not have a payment option, online payment option. Everything was there, but there was no payment option. So now you added some option to pay using your credit card or debit card or PayPal, for example. So now you have to make sure you just adding this payment option to the website did not break any other thing, right? What is any other thing? For example, now, okay. If I go to some website, for example, okay, I'm going to Udemy, for example. So this is a Udemy website. For example, you are a QA tester for Udemy working. So Udemy just added these two functionalities. So they did not have this login and sign up. They just, or maybe they had login and sign up, but they did not have Udemy business, this part, they just added this. So what does that mean? They used to have everything before. And what is maintenance and sometimes regression testing? Okay, that sometimes separate. Maintenance is also separate thing, but regression testing, right? What you are doing in regression testing, after adding this piece, right? This is a separate piece. You have to make sure all other things are working as expected. So what happens sometimes, they added this, and now they are introducing some issue or bug or defect that, okay, then sign up button is not working now. Maybe login button is not working. They were working before, but after new change, this maybe is not working. So regression testing, you will see a lot because automation testing is all about regression testing. When you learn automation testing, you have to do regression testing all the time. And also end of each project, each testing, you have to do a regression testing. Means you have to make sure your application is working correctly or not as a whole. Not only just one piece, not only just category is working or not. Every single web element. You see that anything you see here, they are called web elements. So this is a website and these are web elements. So you will hear this name a lot in the future, web element, because you have to sometimes write test cases with each web element, right? Checking each web element, right? Login functionality, right? This is a login functionality. But when you talk about automation testing will not understand plain English. They will be only understanding specific term like web element and this type of like programming concept. So this, all of these you see, I mean picture, right? All of them are web element and you have to check each of them displaying correctly or not. Now, you see, this is a full picture. Now, as a QA, you are testing this website and see everything came except there is no head. Head option is just blank. There's an issue, right? Now you see their category. You are checking category. You are clicking here. You see this, all of this option is coming, but in QA, nothing is coming. So that means you cannot click anything. You cannot search anything. Now you are searching something, right? You are searching, for example, Java. You see that you're supposed to see all of this option. This is a functionality. This is functionality means this is a requirement. So whoever Udemy product owner, this product owner said, okay, anytime you search anything, similar stuff should be displaying here. right? So that customer can save their time and they can just see. They can just click quickly. So this is a requirement actually. Type Java and display anything top 20 or top 15 Java related course here. Type QA. You'll see anything QA related information here. You see that these are requirement. Now, what is the next requirement? For example, if you click on login, you will see your option to sign in, right? Login with a valid username or user ID and a valid password, right? Or if you forget, you should have a option here. You see that forget password option, login with different account. If you have multiple account, you see that all of this information here you see, those are requirement or business requirement or product requirement or simply just requirement of this Udemy product. Udemy is a product. So Udemy is a product. This is for public. Their business is to sell the membership, right? So if your sign up button doesn't work, they can lose millions of dollars, right? If you are signing up, clicking sign up, right? Now, if the page gives error, what does that mean? You cannot sign up. The new customer cannot do anything and they're losing money. So similarly, I think Joel Bhai also gave some example yesterday that how his company lost 2 or 3 days of payroll actually, because some QA did not test a major functionality and then this functionality went to production, to public, and then there was an issue and nobody couldn't even sign in. So this type of issue, right now, whatever I'm doing, this is called manual testing. Means you are just using your hand and your cursor, your mouse, and checking step by step by using your eyes. This is called manual testing. Now, another testing Joel Bhai explained yesterday a little bit about automation is very high demand in the market right now. That, okay, you will be writing some kind of code using maybe Java, for example, and this code will be actually taking your direction. Means you will say, okay, you will write in the code, okay, piece of code means, okay, 5-line direction and just keep somewhere and you will just click start. And that start means you are saying some automated code and that code will testing everything on this screen. If there is like 15 different scenario, that will be testing 15 different scenario in maybe 5 minutes. Where if you do manually testing, you maybe need 5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. You see that? So you will be learning more about automation in the future, but this is like high level summary that what you are testing. This is some kind of example, Udemy, right? You can go to Macy's.com, you can go to eBay, right? Every company has a lot of web element in the screen. And as a QA, you will be testing all of these web element if they are part of your task. So this is basically like QA testing fundamentals actually. Now going back to my slide again. So as I said, maintenance, right? It is going to public doesn't mean end of the product. It always have to be maintained. So now, anybody has any question on these 7 phases that I just described? Those are very, very important because if you understand these, you are actually understanding a big part of manual testing actually. And QA process, this is all about QA process because this is the task you are doing, right? This is the task you are doing every day if you are a QA. Every day you are doing requirement analysis, somehow requirement analysis or somehow kind of communication with the team and some type of testing. That's it. This is everything you are doing. For testing, what you need, right? So for testing phase, actually, similar to SDLC, right? there is another life cycle model. Sometimes it is called STLC. This is called software testing life cycle. So this is mostly for QA personnel. STLC is not for development team or not for entire team. STLC is for testing team. You can say for QA. Similar to this model, right? STLC has some kind of phases also. Everybody can see my screen, or I should make it a little bigger. So STLC has 6 major phases. You will be learning most of them next classes. This is very much high level. So similar to SDLC, STLC has, I can say 6 major phases.
Shantaba, if you're sharing screen, we are not watching anything. I don't know, it's me maybe.
Okay, everybody has same problem. I'm still watching, showing the screen.
We can see.
We can
Oh.
see.
Yes, now I can see it. Yes, sorry.
Okay. So I can actually go a little bit back and, okay. So my question is, do you have any confusion about SDLC? This is very, very fundamental concept before actually moving to actual QA skill and other thing. The stages of SDLC, and they're very important for your interview also. Okay, I guess you understood the steps and phases for SDLC. So inside the SDLC, right, your job, big part of your QA or testing job is testing, right? Testing the product. So now for this, there is another life cycle. Sometimes interviewer can ask you actually, do you know anything about STLC or software testing lifecycle? So software testing lifecycle, there are several phases, and those phases, right, will be all about your testing, right? Beginning to end. And what is the beginning? Beginning is always requirement analysis. Remember, actually, let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so STLC, right, software testing lifecycle. So your always stages starts from requirement analysis. So when you get the requirement as a tester, as a QA, right, as a UAT person or as a SDET person, doesn't matter. As a tester, you always get a requirement to start with. Your task always start with requirement, some kind of requirement. Requirements, then you analyze requirements. Make sure you have clear understanding on this requirement. So once you have clear understanding on this requirement, you will do some test planning. Means you will write some kind of testing steps that, okay, you are planning, okay, so you have the requirement, now you are thinking, okay, I will do this type of testing. I'll do this type of testing. There is maybe like you are writing maybe 20 test cases or test scenario that you will be testing. You see that these 20 or 25 or 30 scenario you are thinking in your brain, after analyzing this requirement, this is part of your test planning. This is test planning phase, right? Now, after you have the planning or brainstorming, right, you are writing those test cases. This is a plain English sometimes for manual testing, plain English, right? For automation testing, you need to write these test cases in some programming language, and we will be using Java. You will learn this later, but this is a big topic actually. Planning test cases, you need some few weeks actually, right? Because you have to learn how to write test cases, then what are inside the test cases, and proper languages, right? Even it is plain English, but there are some style. There are some template you have to follow. There are some standard that QA follows, right? So basically, we are showing all the stuff that that have like similar standard with other companies. Most of the company actually follow those standards. You can change little bit because every company has some kind of different style sometimes, but end of the day, it will be same, right? For example, you are driving today Toyota Camry, and tomorrow you are buying Honda Accord. What is the difference? Two different company, right? But you are driving exactly same way. You are doing exactly same thing. So it doesn't matter. Today you are using Gmail. Maybe 5 years ago you used Yahoo. But you are doing exactly same thing, right? Sending email communication, another thing. So similarly, like your different company can follow different type of style, different type of tools, but process end of the day will be exactly same. If you know one process, if you work with one company, another company will be following exactly like similar process. So it's not going to be a big factor. So we will be actually showing all the stuff, the common stuff that most of the company actually follows, most of the company actually practice. So design pattern, test cases, analyzing requirement, you will have actually project also, very similar to your real life experience project in the future classes. And you will have homework also to do some kind of requirement analysis, writing test cases, designing test cases, and test scenario. So more details are coming in the future. Okay. Okay, so then what is the next step? Environment setup. So this environment setup means you will be using some kind of tools. Maybe you will be using Selenium, maybe you will be using, for API testing, you need some other API testing tools. For backend testing, you need some backend testing tools. Maybe another company using UFT, a lot of tools, right, in the market. So environment setup means you are setting up all the tools with your test case design. And also environment setup can be preparing your test data. This can be part of your environment setup. Means when you start testing, making sure you have everything to move on, right? So remember you had like couple of days, like at least week or 2 weeks, when development team is coding, right? So you have some stuff to do, right? So you are actually preparing this stuff now while development team is coding. So side by side, you will be ready for test execution. When development team is done with coding, it is deployed to QA. Now you can start testing. So before you start testing, you make sure your test document is ready, test case is ready, environment is ready, data is ready. So there are we have some classes there. So you have to know little more details about that actually. A lot of tools, right? Especially automation testing is coming here. There is automation testing at least 7 weeks. So plus a lot of practice. And once everything, sometimes these two will be working together, because when we write automation test cases or test script, we will be using some additional tools like Eclipse, some IntelliJ, where we'll be writing tools. So for this, for automation, right, we will not be using like Word document. We'll be using some other editor. And editor means where you write those stuff, write those test cases and test script. So you will be learning those in the future classes, because you need a lot of details for that and a lot of practice. Test execution. So once everything is ready, you will be just testing, right? Remember, your test case is ready. You are reading your test case and checking, okay, Udemy, it is displaying correctly, the spelling is correct or not. You have a design. In the requirement, remember, development team will be building some template and demo or design. They will be providing those design to everybody for testing. So you will have those template or those documents ready that will be used during testing to verify, okay, if this is correct or not, because you need some kind of documentation, what you are checking actually, right? You have those document requirements. So requirement will be your expected everything. And whatever you are seeing here, that will be your actual result. So you are basically comparing your expected against the actual. And this is all about testing actually. Now, okay, so now test closure, test cycle closure. So remember, you have tested properly, you have maybe 50 test cases. You executed all of these 50 test cases successfully. Now, closure means when you have test cases, you have test case result, you are reviewing with the team. Remember, all the team member will have this status that whatever QA testing, and if they have any issues, if you have any defects are fixed, everything, all the reports are ready to review with product owner. Sometimes product owner will be just checking your test result. That's it. And then you can say, okay, we are good for this testing. We are done. So at this point, maybe you are done for this project. You are moving on maybe next project or next task. So this is kind of picture software testing life cycle. You see that requirement analysis, test planning, test design, environment setup, test execution, and test closure. So I think today's time is over. Okay. So we can actually stop here. First, anybody has any question about that QA fundamentals, SDLC and STLC? You can ask question. Anything you have confusion. So I'm assuming you have clear understanding about at least what is SDLC and STLC. Now, if you don't have question.
Paya, I have a question.
Yes.
It's not about STLC. It's just like a general thing I want to know from the last class. It's that can this happen like even after testing, following the process, no bugs or error is found, or this cannot happen, like there will be something?
Sure. So yeah, so this is sometimes is very important. Like you did not find any bug, right? But you have this requirement analysis and test planning. Remember this, you analyzing this requirement, and now you have to come out with different type of testing scenario that you will be testing. You will be creating those document, and you will be actually sharing this document with project team. Now you are sharing your testing plan. You have a test plan. Okay, yeah. You are saying I'm testing this. You are sending this document to the team. Project team will be reviewing those. Now product owner also will be reviewing those. Product owner will be checking, okay, this looks good. 50 test scenarios looks good. Now product owner, if product owner gives green signal, then you are good to go. Now there are a lot of method and lot of techniques we will be actually showing later, actually, what are those techniques to figure out different type of scenarios. You will be always trying to cover as much as possible, but it is not possible to cover 100%. It is not possible. So you will be always trying to create the scenarios of testing document based on your possible ways. So there are some technique you will see: boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning. In the future class, if I tell right now, it will be very confusing. So that will help you to figure out the right test cases or right testing scenarios actually. that will probably give you bugs or help you to find bugs or defects. But after you writing those test cases or test planning, you have to review this with the team. You are just writing yourself and nobody knows what you wrote and just testing. It's not going to work like this. There will be a test plan peer review so that everybody knows what you are testing. And if you miss any part, team will be suggesting you, okay, I guess product owner will be saying, okay, I think you missed this functionality. You should check this functionality also. Maybe another team member will be saying, okay, this is not required. Maybe you wrote extra stuff. They'll say, okay, this is not part of this project. You should not test this part. You see that when you have a review, you will get the comments, you will get the feedback from the team, and you will be in safe side because you are communicating with the team actually. Everything end of the day, you have to communicate with the team, and everybody should have access on all of these scenarios or all of this actually method you are, all of this process you are following actually. They should know what you are doing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
At the moment, I don't have any question because it's overwhelming, lot of information.
Yes,
I
yes,
believe
those are
when
very,
we start,
very,
I believe
big
when we start
picture.
the real class,
Yeah.
then that would be the right time to ask questions.
This is definitely right now a big picture for all of you. This is actually QA process. So this is everything you are doing. You see this in this picture? This picture is actually everything about your career. If you are a QA, it doesn't matter manual tester or automation tester or SDET basically. This picture actually is your career. You are getting some task, doing this requirement analysis, testing, this test closure, moving to another task. This is everything about your career as a QA. In this phase, you need some kind of skills, you need some tools, some programming languages. This phase, here you don't need any programming language or anything. This is a plain English. They'll be giving some paragraph or some document with some bullet points. Testing, test planning, right? It can be just plain English. But when you design, test design can be manual, or for automation, it can be programming language. So these two will be different between automation and manual. Other than that, everything is kind of same. It doesn't matter. But this is the overall picture for you, what you will be doing.
So basically, these are the things we will be doing in 4 months.
You will be doing means you will be gaining some skills. For example, how to write test cases, how to analyze requirement, how to design automation test script, how to set up some kind of environment, or how to execute those test cases. Everything piece by piece you will be learning. Yes. Yeah, as I said, also you agreed that it is kind of overwhelming, lot of information, but in couple of weeks, when you go through more details, doing homework, practice, I think everybody will be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically, I'm not sure if Joel Bhai here.
I'm here.
Oh, Joel Bhai is here. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I mean, if you're done, I can.
I'm actually done, Joel Bhai, so you can give any information for next before going to next class, actually.
Okay, guys. So this was your second free session, and we will not try to give you any homework for today and yesterday, but I would definitely suggest that on your free time, research STLC and SDLC. SDLC, which is software development lifecycle, and STLC, which is testing lifecycle, which is the process of testing or engineering process of testing. STLC is something that you will be doing for the rest of your career when you join a company, whether that is automation or manual testing. So how much experience you have or you don't have. Either way, when you join a company and you don't know what SDLC is, you will be confused. You will be you'll be in the meeting and you would just stay quiet and you wouldn't know what to say. Okay, so it's very, very important that you master yourself with SDLC and the process of testing, so that way you know how to carry on with what needs to be done next. Okay, and we'll explain more. This is just a taste of what we are teaching, what we can do. Last 2 days, it was only 1.5 hours. And we try not to overwhelm you by giving you more complex theory, complex lessons. We try to keep everything to the basics. Okay. So moving forward, Monday and onward, we're going to start to call each of you and it'll be separate.